Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my beautiful women of Qur'an. Now, welcome to another video. We are actually talking about how to get ready for the day of Arafah, which is in a couple of hours. We're entering Maghrib, which will be the beginning of the day of Arafah. So make sure that you don't waste the night before the day of Arafah, because the night also counts, inshallah ta'ala. So I want to get us ready, especially dua-wise, with a bit more clarity. The day of Arafah is a day of dua. You know, a lot of du'as are being answered on the day of Arafah. And unfortunately, many of us come with a list of du'as, and we are confused about the du'as because we have not done initial clarity work. And this is where this video comes in. If you are new here, my name is Binta Umi Yahya. I am a Quran educator and a mindset and relationship life coach. And I coach from an Islamic perspective. I talk all about mindset, about attachment styles, about tadabbur. And if that is interesting to you, stay tuned. So the clarity that I'm talking about, I don't know if that has happened to you, but many of us make dua absent-mindedly. We repeat things in a different language, like Arabic, because we hear, oh, this is what you're supposed to say. If you say this, you know, you're going to get whatever you want, but you don't even really know what you want. And I'm speaking from experience here. I'm not talking at you. I'm really reminding myself and also going back to what I have been through. Something as important as what to look for in a husband, I did not know when I entered a previous marriage. I did not know exactly what I wanted. And I think this is such a life decision. This is such a huge life decision. But many of us don't. We wait to be approached. We wait to see somebody that we like, and then we start negotiating. But when you already know what you want ahead of time, this is a total game changer. Right? Because you know, you're like clear as to what you want, what you will negotiate, what you will not negotiate. And that makes you make better decisions in general. And also it gives you this edge in when you ask Allah, because now you know you're asking Allah from a place of clarity. So, clarity is important. But how do you get clarity? Like, we don't study ourselves. Most of us don't spend time studying ourselves. We study everything else. We study math, we study all subjects, but we don't spend time studying our own selves. The trauma that we may have, the perceptions that we may have that we need to correct, the limiting beliefs that we may have. I know I'm talking a lot about relationship right now because I do host a marriage coaching program called Blessed Relationships, and I'll talk about that a bit later. But really, it's the point I'm trying to make here is the importance of gaining clarity before you even make dua. So I'm also hosting a tadabbur and / coaching program with Surah Yusuf, and in that surah, actually this past Sunday, we were at the passage where Yusuf alayhi salam is interpreting the dream of the king. And if you know the story and if you know the surah, you know that Yusuf alayhi salam does not just interpret the dream. What he does very powerfully is that he adds strategy, planning, advice for preparing for these times of hardships that are shown from the dream, right? So Yusuf alayhi salam gets the people of Egypt ready for whatever the dream was predicting. So here we learn the importance of preparing. This is something that is praiseworthy. A Muslim doesn't just go into things. He has to have an intention behind what he does. And he has to know why he's doing what he's doing, because that's what the intention. Why are you doing what you're doing? Getting the intention, getting your mind clear about your actions, because what is happening inside of you is also being judged, not just your action externally, but also the intention behind the action, the heart, what was going on with you inside is also being judged here. So let's go ahead and seek clarity in this video. one of the things that we're going to do the exact same exercise that we did in session with Healing with Surah Yusuf. And what we did was we did a brain dumping exercise. So this is what we'll do. So grab a piece of paper and go ahead and or write down or type all the worries that you have, all the things that are weighing on you. It could be, problems that you have, responsibilities that you have. It could be things that you worry about, like worst case scenarios that you're thinking about. It could be dreams that you have, like things, aspirations, like hopes that you have. Let's say you want to get married, or you want to have kids, or you want, this big career, like whatever it is. You want to live in a different place. You want whatever you want. You just want to list everything that is on your heart and on your mind. Again, problems, worries, goals, hopes, dreams, aspirations, wishes. Just list it all. Take the time to brain dump. When you, after a while, feel like you have to think really, really hard and nothing is coming, at that point, this is your cue to say, okay, let's look at that list. Once you have the list, what I want you to ask yourself is, if I only had to choose 5 or 3 things out of that list that are really weighing on me, if I only had to choose these 3 and 5 and I wanted those to be resolved, what would those things be? And that's what I want you to select. I want you to select the things that you listed that you cannot let go of. If you had to pick out of this whole list 3 or 5 things, what will those 3 or 5 things be? Right? And 3 or 5 is just a number to bring it down, to bring the priority for you, right? So once you have listed that, that also will tell you, this is really what I want. And you could still ask yourself, do I actually want this? Do I actually want this? Is this coming from the deeper side of me? Or is it coming from, people's influence, what I see online, what people have, or what I should want? Or is it really coming from what I deeply, deeply want? If it's yes, across the board, now what I want you to do is turn these worries, these aspirations, these goals, these hopes, these dreams, these problems into dua. So turn them into dua. Make a dua for each one of them and use the names of Allah that are the most appropriate for whatever you have selected. Okay, so it could be the beautiful names of Allah, like it could be Ar-Razaq, it could be Al-Latif, Al-Kareem, the generous, right? Al-Wahhab, the gifter, the bestower of gifts. Those are some of the names that come to my mind. But like all of these names where you have As-Sami' or Dua, like As-Sami', the one who answers and the one who hears and responds. Al-Mujib, also the one who responds to dua. So you want to pair the name of Allah that is most appropriate for whatever you are, that you really, really are looking into. So now, it does not mean that you spend the whole day of Arafah with just these du'as. But what it means is that instead of being overwhelmed this whole day of Arafah, asking yourself or making du'as from an absent, because you're making so many du'as and you get tired and you don't even know what to ask anymore. And then you making du'a with, your mind is half there and, and not really present. These that you selected, it will force you to make du'as for them really sincerely with all your heart and all your mind, with all your presence. Why? Because these are things that you really filtered down. You took them, they passed the clarity test. You are clear that this is really, really, really what you want. And you really, really want to see those things resolved and answered in your life. And as you were doing the exercise, if at any moment something came up for you around loneliness, emotional disconnection, or the desire to get married, build a healthy relationship, maybe ironing out some difficulties that you may be facing in your marriage or understanding your spouse, any of that, if that came up for you, then I want to offer you something that can support that exact area of your life, because I want to talk to you about blessed relationships. As I mentioned earlier in this video, we just wrapped up the second cohort, and I just opened the wait list for the third cohort. I will have the link for the waitlist in the description below, so you can look at the information on the page and what it's about. But inside the program, basically, we go deeper into understanding your emotional and attachment patterns. I certified in attachment styles, so we absolutely go over insecure attachment styles, and we go over, patterns that you brought from previous from your history, like maybe your childhood, or limiting beliefs that you've been carrying all along that may be impacting your relationship. We will look at how to turn your emotional triggers into self-awareness, so that you're able to not only identify the triggers, but you're able to manage them, right? You will also learn how to communicate, but most importantly, most of the sisters in this program that, when they finish the program, across the board, they said that they understand themselves so much better, that they gain so much more clarity about who they are. And that alone is a game changer in any relationship. When you know yourself, you're able to not only, show up better, even in your relationship with Allah, but with anybody else, because you know who you're dealing with. You know exactly that this could be a perception issue, or it could be an insecurity issue coming from you, and you know how to fix it. You know who to turn to. So if this is something that you are interested in, like I said, I will be, launching it again this summer. Join the waitlist if you're interested, and it's in the description below. Let's get back to the video. Well, you even ask, you have to start with the dua of Arafah. And the dua of Arafah, according to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is to say, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli shayin qadir. Now, why this is so important to start with this? First of all, it's Tawheed. This is Tawheed. You're saying there is no God but Allah alone. He has no partner. To him belongs dominion and all praise, and he is over all things capable. Say this dua with the meaning in mind. Reflect on the meaning, because this is going to really set you up for when you ask Allah for anything else, for all these things that are really dear to your heart, that pass the clarity test, that you really, really want to see in your life. Now you know you're not going to be making this dua half-heartedly. Like, you're going to make it real confidence. And this is one way that you empower your dua, is when you ask Allah with conviction that he alone can give it to you, and he can give it to you. Like, you have no doubt about this. So remind yourself who he is by saying, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. So that's the one. Second, what I want to share with you is 3 du'as that if you're going through any type of situation that's heavy, these du'as will really help. So number 1 is the du'a where you are basically asking Allah with all of his names, the ones that we know, the ones that we don't even know, all of his names and attributes. And this is such a powerful du'a, because if you don't know all the names of Allah, that whatever you don't know is included in this dua. Not be able to go over the entire dua in this video, but it is in the description below. All the du'as that I'm mentioning are there. So this is such a powerful dua, because you're saying that I'm asking you with all the names that you have named yourself, those you have revealed in the book, those you have taught, though, like, you really are saying to Allah, whatever name of yours exists, I am calling on you with these names. And you are anchoring this dua in making sure that the Qur'an, the speech of Allah, the Qur'an that is shifa, that becomes everything for you, that it takes away the sadness, it takes away the grief, and it becomes the spring of your heart. So this is such a beautiful dua. The second dua, actually the other 2 duas, they're kind of linked. There are 2 du'as in the narration. Rasulullah ﷺ saw someone making these du'as in their salah, and he said that they have called on Allah with the greatest names of Allah. And so whatever they ask, they will be granted, basically. So these 2 du'as are also in the description below. Now, you have powerful du'as with you. You have the dua of the day of Arafah. You have clarity because you did that coaching exercise seeking clarity. You are ready, my sister, bi'idhnillah. You are ready for Arafah. Again, remember that it starts after Maghrib. So after Maghrib, make sure that you are making dua. After your salah of Maghrib, sit down, start even going over this clarity list and then make dua. And also at Isha, between Adhan and Iqamah, make dua, wake up before Fajr, make dua, pray tahajjud, make dua. Like, do not waste any of this prime dua time, and keep your tongue moist with the actual dhikr and dua of Arafah. May Allah accept all of your du'as, all of my du'as, all of our du'as. May He shower His mercy upon the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May He alleviate the troubles of all our brothers and sisters who are struggling. And may we get to experience many, many, many more days of Arafah and Eid. I wish you a wonderful Eid as well. Eid Mubarak in advance. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. I will see you inshallah in another video bi'idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.